Well, let's go back to this conversation with Chazic Hanscombe, the son of Marc Hanscombe, who was attacked and stabbed, ended up in ICU. And as we just heard now a bit earlier on, he is now out of hospital. We're just trying to understand around what happened on the 16th of December. Chazic, apologies. We seem to have a problem with the signal, but I hope that's much clearer now that we have you on the phone instead. So I'm going to ask you again, apologies. The 16th of December, you're in the office, and what happens?
So one of the staff members came in saying that that group was refusing to listen to the rules regarding the hookah pipes. So my father went out to go and enforce the rules, and he was telling them that they need to take the hookah pipes away, and then they attacked him. By the time I got out, it was already too late, so I had to just take him to the hospital.
Yeah. Were you guys able to establish what led to the escalation? Because, as you say, that the staff members first told the guys what the rules are. They refused to put away the hookah pipe. Your father then came. Then what happened?
I'm not sure why that escalated so drastically. I know my father tried to take the hookah pipe. Because usually if they do this, because it's happened in the past where they don't want to listen, then we take the pipe and we keep it behind the couch until they leave. So I'm not sure if because he tried to take it, that's why they went off at him like that. So.
Yeah, okay. So after your father tried to take the hookah pipe, it escalated, not too sure how it escalated, but then there was the attack that then happened, and later on one of the people also stabbed him.
Yeah. That video is basically that about 45 seconds is basically the entire attack.
Sure. So all of that happened so quickly, with your father then ending up in hospital. So what happened after the stabbing? This is now speaking about on the property.
Well, you see, I wasn't here because I had to rush him to the hospital because we don't have a hospital in Orkney, so I had to take him to Clarksville. I wasn't going to wait for the ambulance because it would take an hour for him to get to hospital. So I know the police came, and the police arrested them. And after that, I'm not sure what happened.
Okay. So according to your understanding, the police arrested them because what the police are speaking about is that the three men handed themselves over.
Yeah, you see, the police arrested them on the day, but they didn't charge them with the case. Because by the time the police got here, my father and myself weren't here. So they weren't able to take our statements. So they got those people's names and their addresses and contact information, but then they let them go. So it's only after I went back to the station the next day and informed them exactly what happened that they then opened the case against the people.
Okay. Yeah. And then what's your take in terms of wanting justice? What would you like to see happen now going forward?
For me, the main thing is I'm just glad that my father's okay. Obviously, and obviously they have to go through the justice system, and they need to, whatever the courts are deciding, we'll be okay. But our main thing is that we don't want something like this to happen again. So we've put in a lot of more security measures. We've got security companies, cameras, the works, to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. Yeah.
And do you have any camera footage of this particular incident from the property's CCTV footage?
We didn't have CCTV outside at that point. We only had it within the shop. So we've expanded our camera footage to be outside now as well.
Yeah. And what's your plea to holiday makers? Once they get to establishments like yourself where there are rules in place, what is it that you'd want to see from them?
Well, I'd like to say to them, obviously, but at the same point, you're on private property. So you can think of it the same way as you go into someone's house. You wouldn't want to go to your friend's house and not break all of their house rules, It's the same thing with the resort. The rules are there for your safety and for the safety of the other guests. So if there are rules at a resort, you should please follow them. Or otherwise, you can always look for another resort that has rules that's more to your taste.
Yeah. And with the previous incidents that because one of the reasons that you have this particular rule is because of previous incidents that have taken place as well, and also that hazard of the property catching fire.
No, all of our rules are in place because of of something that's happened. You know, like we've also got a rule that you can't have Bluetooth speakers on the property because we're not a large resort, we're small, and we have neighbors. But we have a concession in that we have our own speakers where we control the volume and customers can play their own music, whatever music they like, through those speakers.
Okay.
And with the hookah pipe, it's sort of the same situation. Like they're allowed to smoke it on the outside part of the premises. There is a designated spot. But, you know, when they're drinking and they're having a good time, they tend to knock it over. And then we've had wooden tables catch fire. And obviously, that's not something we want to happen again.